As we said when we discussed this issue yesterday, that there are lots of lapses in the system. It's not only on the side of the developer, the architect, and all of that. If you give a building developer 3 notices and the person persists, then there's something wrong with enforcement.
Enforcement, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that was where I think the governor had to bring his hammer down, and you know, the buck ends at the governor's table, and the best way to handle it is that you have assistants and lieutenants to do the work, and when the lieutenants don't do the work, you get them, you put them in the right places. I think that's what he did, and I think it will also. It is a pity because sometimes the head of the department may not be aware of some of these things, that his own little men undermined him. But you know, when you are in charge, you are in charge. Don't fail. There's no excuse for failure. I mean, you know. I said yesterday when we were doing this, talking about security, that you don't a general. Or a soldier doesn't go to battle and come back and say, I did my best. You have to get it done.
Absolutely.
Eric Kissinger, in his latest book, talked about one time when General Eisenhower told him, son, as Eisenhower talking to Kissinger, who's now 99 years old, and then he was a young man, he said, don't ever tell me that it couldn't be done. I mean, you don't give excuse after the fact, because that's what soldiers are trained to. You go there, get it done. If it means you lose your treasure and your blood, you lose it. That is the whole idea. Put everything inside and get it done. Don't get it done, don't come back.
Hey.
The last order. Mike.
What a way to imagine and think about it. You know, but coming back home to the resignation of the commissioner, well, we wouldn't know the behind the scenes of whether he was, you know, forced to resign honorably, but it goes a long way to send signals of in these climes where they say nobody resigns even when things go wrong. But this goes a long way to tell that when things don't go right, you could resign. And there are some ministries that their work is quite challenging, and this is one of it, right? But like he has said, if the governor has made you commissioner or a special advisor in a certain area, you must deliver. If you don't have the wherewithal, the resources and all of that, make it known. But you accepted the appointment because you said you were going to have capacity to deliver. So if you're not delivering, maybe your lieutenants or other people are sabotaging your effort. That is not what we want to hear. Be in charge and take it over, you know. So it's not about the person. It's not about personalities. So
no, not at all.
If you can't handle it, move. Somebody else can handle it, you know, or maybe another experimentation of leadership and all of that, so that at the end of the day, it's about Lagos. It's about safety of people.
Right, absolutely.
Because we can't keep having collapsed building, and then when we bring analysts to talk about it, they say, within the system there are this, there are that, and then developers call government officials. We can't be having that.
Aside from the commissioner, I'd also like to see the developer also brought to book.
Yeah, they are looking for them. They are looking for them.
And a face to the name for the people to know, because that will also ensure that due process and that justice is seen to be done as well.
And as I said yesterday, home buyers should also pay attention to all of this, and there should be a desk officer.
Absolutely.
Who you can hold, who you can ask, what is the state of this building? Right. What is what is the integrity of this project, and so on, before you know you can invest in it, you monitor it, and so on.
Very
things
important.
Like that.
Right, we need to move on to the news updates. We would have loved to talk about the new UK Prime Minister Liz Truss, as well as the situation in Kenya, where William Ruto's election has been upheld. But let's quickly move on now. We begin in Lagos, where the death toll from the collapsed 7-story building in Lekki has risen to 6. A combined team of policemen, National Emergency Management Agency, and the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency have been working round the clock at the scene on rescue operation. Senior correspondent Sharon Nijason has details.
More than 24 hours after an uncompleted 7-story building in Lekki area of Lagos collapsed, search and rescue operation at the scene are still ongoing. More bodies were recovered from the rubble in the early hours of the day as emergency responders continue to search for any survivor. The Southwest Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ibrahim Farinloye, said the agency is advocating preventive emergency work plan.
We shouldn't wait for disaster to occur, rather to prevent it from the bud. What we've been crying for is mainstreaming of disaster risk reduction strategy. If there are issues relating to regulation, we have various types of regulatory bodies. So the bodies should be empowered to carry out their functions as it should be.
We have many substandards in Nigeria, and we call them several times to improve. Because where you have design of 2 tons of iron rod 12 mm, and whereby they deliver 10 mm for you instead of 12 mm, the building may have problem. My advice is that all the distributors of iron rod should buy iron rod with certificate.
According to eyewitnesses, the building was sealed on the 18th of February 2021 by officials of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, but the developer continued to work on it until the unfortunate incident on Sunday.
We appeal to the good people of Lagos State that we are on top of all the challenges and all the key stakeholders that are important in managing emergency are on the ground, and we are all working under the watch of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu.
With the increase in building collapse in the state and in other parts of the country, experts are of the opinion that there is a need for a national discourse on what will be the terms and conditions for the building industry to actually operate on when constructing a building, pre-construction, during construction, and post-construction, where safety and the quality of products that will be used to build the building will be prioritized, and a minimum standard must be set to ensure that there is sanity in the sector. Sharon Nijason, TVC News, Lagos.
The Lagos State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Idris Salako, has resigned. His resignation comes barely 24 hours after a 7-story building in Lekki caved in. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, confirmed this development in a statement on Monday. Mr. Omotosho stated that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has accepted Dr. Salako's resignation, stating that the process is a prelude to the restructuring of the ministry and its agencies.